Well, I'm back at the crib, and the question is, was going up to the lake house worth the time invested? Was going into seclusion needed for me to work on my business? And I think the quick answer is yes. It's actually a question I got this morning from Ross. Hey, was it worth it? And I had to think about it for a little bit because often business owners or small business owners who are also operators don't really make the time to work on their business. We get caught up in the things that we're doing to try to get the stuff done to make the next payroll, next paycheck. And, one day turns into a week, turns into a month, and the next thing you know, 6 months have gone by and you're sort of doing the same thing that you were doing before, pissed off that you didn't take the time to do the thing that you needed to do in the first place. And we've sort of had this perfect intersection of things happen, although I say perfect, it's not the one I wanted, but it was a forcing function to say, you need to go figure shit out. And for me, what I needed to do is get out of this, get out of the noise, get away, and just work on it, as you've seen. So then what happened? Like, what's the result of what happened? And I'd say the first was focus. I didn't watch any TV. I worked 14 plus hours a day. I worked in the same 20 by 20 kind of box. I just got stuff done. It was a lot of standing and pacing and writing down and just trying to logically take kind of the things I'm thinking about and dumping them on these giant yellow stickies, putting them on the wall, organizing them, and just trying to sort of remap, like, what's an ideal day? What do I want doing? What's the ideal future state? If we were going to do this, then what? If I was going to create content, what content? Why? What content format is going to make? How is that going to feed the machine of getting leads and this and that? And so it was a very introspective type of thing. It's not that these things hadn't been thought about. It's that they were now sort of laid out in the bigger aspect for me to sort of look at and try to put together. I think some of the things that I've hinted on that it really came clear is that I've been trying to fight having a consultancy, but the reality is that's what Unspecified's been doing for the last 9 years. It's sort of been a back burner item, like was never the original intention of the company, but it's always been in hustle mode. So I would get a contract, I would work it, maybe get another one, work two. At one point we had some employees, now we don't. And it's just been this like constant grind of hustle. And that's driving me nuts. It's not the type of work I want. Here we are yet again, customers gone on pause, and we're done, right? I don't want to keep doing that. But the reality is, I think that that's the right type of company for sort of where I'm at, in the aspect of we need to have a service offering that we provide, work with customers that are the right size. And I've hinted on that before, and we'll get into that in other videos. But I do think that is probably the right path. I think it's the path we're going to go down. As it was pointed out in one of the comments, there's a ton of work to do to get to that, to where it's stable. And with all that, I still want to build products that solve these needs, that kind of cut down that consulting rate for folks, but also let us scale. I also really like project work. I sort of like the envisioning piece, the vision, sorting out how it's going to get built, getting it built and deployed, and being able to refine it. I'm really good at the 0 to 50, if you will, and I'm not really great with the 50 to 100. That's not really the place I've ever been. I don't like version 2 products. I never have. But project work is just, it's always sort of new. There's always a specific problem. The scope is really easy. The day-to-day operational shit, I just don't care to do. I also like to work with small business owners, and I think they somewhat get left out. I think the job is really hard. Some haven't hit a critical mass, or they're just so deeply engaged in their business that they don't necessarily see the broader picture because they're just hustling all day long. And tech for them is scary. Not all, but they're kind of doing their thing, and they don't realize that there's this whole industry of computers that can help. It's really getting exacerbated by the fact that we have AI now, and how we can do so much more, which is really re-enabling humans to do what they're really good at. So if we could just give them the tools for their business, I think a lot of businesses will get unlocked and really grow and see their potential. Most are already struggling with resources and whatnot. So it's not like this is going in and replacing, it's just making them operate better. And that's really exciting. I also think YouTube and social media are the only way I'm going to kick this off. Yes, I have a network through TC, which I'm going to have to come back to. And I think there's a lot of opportunities with TC. I do know community kind of really well, and I'm obviously very passionate about it. So I see places where I could start some business owners focused user groups and really get kind of work on people's problems and understand them and podcast about them and meet others and build that community around people who want to modernize their environments, their organizations, their systems. And that sounds like a huge thing to take on. And it's sort of what we did with TC, but differently. But the irony is I see the conference sort of coming back in a place where we can have decision makers and doers sort of come together to make the next best thing and be a little bit more like hack-like, where ideas are really coming to life, if you will. A lot of words said and all that, but it's a thing that just kind of keeps meandering through my mind. I've been doing coaching. I love it. I'd like to get some more people. It's not really the right sized program yet. It's not really charged at the right thing. I give away too many hours in doing it. But the folks that I have in the program, I'm really humbled that I got sort of picked to help guide them and be part of that. I'm learning every day about it and trying to put together a program that's just kind of getting better and better. And every one person is a little bit different, so it's really tailored to it. But I want to continue to see that happen and grow and really have impact in developers' lives. And I still want to write this book. Like that hasn't really changed. But the reality is I am real short on money. So I'm going to have to figure that part out, as well as start getting customers and testimonials and really, put together this program, or I should say this service offering that, I can bring to companies and really start building out Unspecified. And, I guess all in all, was going to the lake a good thing? Yeah. As you can see, a lot of things sort of got clear. There was clarity that came from it. I think I can use our own company as sort of an open source model rather than just talking about it in theory. Just go, this is exactly how we've structured our company and how we've structured, things like that conference and operated and done. And that gives it a sense of tangibility to just say, no, this is us in all of it. It's just like me recording here. This is me kind of showing you exactly like where the head is at and what's going on. So where does it leave? Well, my gut says start a consultancy. It also says there'll be product, conference will come back, the community, like you'll get all those things done. You'll continue to coach. Like gut says go all the way. Gut has me scared. This is not a small endeavor. It's not one that really, it's just, there's a lot. There's a lot to getting a customer and working it and the marketing around it. And I mean, that conference was a lot too, and we started somewhere. So I have a lot of clarity. I'm scared shitless. I am very glad that I went to the lake and did it. I wish we had our own lake house. That'd be really nice, but we don't. But it was nice to just sort of get away, be in solitude. So, if you're ever questioning whether or not you should get away to focus on you or your business or whatnot without distractions, the answer is yes. And for those of you that said like, Clark, you need to slow down and take a vacation or just get away and do it. You're right. Like I do not disagree with any of that. And I really, really wish that I was in a position to just say, fuck it, not work this summer. I really do. And I think it would be amazing. But the reality is I'm not. And I have to figure out how to balance this and get it moving quickly and be able to measure it so that we know that the things that we're doing are the things that will put money back on the plate in the bank. I hate starting over. I feel like not that TC was our day job, but it was sort of the thing that got all of the energy, and yet Unspecified was the day job. And the two sort of complemented each other at times in the aspect of, I would get a contract as a benefit of TC, and we'd work that, and I'd be working on that, and then I'd be working on this, and I'd work on this more. And here we are sort of starting over unspecified never really got the attention it deserved. It has been the thing that has always paid the bills. So, that focus is nice, and, we just sort of go from here. So all in all, yeah, it was the right thing for me to do. It's sort of funny how the world kind of came together at that time. I would have never planned it. What I was going up there to do originally was not what I went up to do. If I wouldn't have lost that contract, I would have planned something else, and I think that probably might have been the wrong thing. So funny how things happen, and we'll just sort of see where it goes. See you tomorrow.